Medgar Evers, who served with the U.S. Army in World War II before coming home to fight segregation in the civil rights movement, is among notable Black veterans that have seen their histories wiped from sections on the Arlington National Cemetery's website. The changes follow President Donald Trump's executive orders against diversity, equity and inclusion efforts in the federal government and directives from Pentagon officials who have ordered for photos, links and other pages that promote DE to be scrubbed from Department of Defense sites and platforms. Civil rights icon whom Trump called a hero, erased from Arlington Cemetery website. HuffPost. Medgar Evers, a World War II veteran who fought segregation in Mississippi, is among service members whose histories have been scrubbed from the site. By Ben Blanket. Some links can be found via search and alternative means despite not prominently being on the site, the Washington Post noted. The website's changes were first reported by Civil War historian Kevin M. Levin, as well as Task and Purpose. Trump, in remarks at the opening of the Mississippi Civil Rights Museum in 2017, praised Evers as a great American hero, Mississippi Today's Jerry Mitchell reported Monday. Former Mississippi Supreme Court Justice Reuben Anderson, who showed the president around the museum during his visit, told Mississippi Today that the removal has got to be a mistake. That involves a great American who served in the military and was one of the most courageous Americans of all time, said Anderson of Evers, who fought in Normandy and later challenged the segregation of the University of Mississippi. Evers, who also championed voting rights for Black Americans and fought to end segregation in public facilities, was assassinated by a Ku Klux Klan member in 1963. Evers was posthumously awarded with the Presidential Medal of Freedom last year. Rena Evers Everett accepts the Medal of Freedom on behalf of her father, slain civil rights activist Medgar Evers, from U.S. President Joe Biden during a ceremony in the White House on May 3, 2024, in Washington, D.C. Biden awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, the nation's highest civilian honor, to 19 individuals, including political leaders, civil rights icons and other influential cultural icons. Army confirmed the removals of sections on the cemetery's website to Mississippi Today, noting that those once in sections on Black, Hispanic and women's history can now be seen in broader sections on prominent military figures, or those on accomplishments in science, technology and engineering. Levin, who brings teachers to visit Evers' grave at Arlington each summer, told the newspaper that it's impossible to discuss the civil rights icon's accomplishments without bringing up his military service. There's a straight line from his service to trying to expand voting rights and desegregate the University of Mississippi Law School, he said. Any attempt to minimize this history is being incredibly dishonest.
Medgar Evers was a civil rights leader from Mississippi, born in 1925. After serving in World War II, he became active in the NAACP, working to combat segregation and promote voting rights for African Americans. Evers investigated crimes against African Americans and exposed racial injustices. Tragically, he was assassinated on June 12, 1963, outside his home by a white supremacist. His death marked a significant moment in the civil rights movement. Evers' legacy continues to inspire the fight for equality and justice. Medgar Evers was born on July 2, 1925, in Decatur, Mississippi. Growing up in the segregated South, he experienced racial discrimination firsthand, which motivated him to become involved in the civil rights movement. After serving in the U.S. Army during World War II, Evers returned to Mississippi and enrolled at Alcorn Agricultural and Mechanical College, now Alcorn State University. In 1954, he became the first field secretary for the NAACP in Mississippi. In this role, he organized voter registration drives, investigated racially motivated crimes, and worked to end segregation in public facilities. One of his significant contributions was his effort to desegregate the University of Mississippi. Evers played a key role in supporting James Meredith, the first African-American student to enroll at the university, despite significant opposition and riots. Evers also worked to bring national attention to the injustices faced by African Americans in the South. His investigations and reports helped expose the brutal realities of racial violence and discrimination. Sadly, his life was cut short when he was assassinated in 1963. His death was a turning point that further galvanized the civil rights movement and highlighted the urgent need for change. Today, Medgar Evers is remembered as a courageous leader who made immense sacrifices for the cause of civil rights and social justice. Medgar Evers' impact on the civil rights movement extended beyond his roles in voter registration and desegregation. He was instrumental in challenging systemic racism in various aspects of life. One of Evers' key efforts was addressing the injustices faced by African American veterans returning from World War II. Despite their service to the country, many black veterans faced discrimination and were denied the rights and benefits afforded to white veterans. Evers advocated for their rights and worked to ensure they received equal treatment. Evers also played a role in bringing national attention to the violent acts of racial terrorism, such as the lynching of Emmett Till in 1955. He helped investigate these crimes and worked to bring perpetrators to justice, even though many faced little to no consequences. Throughout his work, Evers faced constant threats to his life. Despite the danger, he remained steadfast in his commitment to achieving equality and justice. Medgar Evers' legacy is honored through various memorials, scholarships, and educational programs that continue to inspire the fight for civil rights. His life and work remind us of the importance of standing up against injustice, even in the face of great personal risk. Medgar Evers' commitment to civil rights was not just limited to his professional work. He was also a family man, and his dedication to his family was deeply intertwined with his activism. Evers and his wife, Myrlie Evers, and 3 children. Myrlie Evers herself became an influential civil rights activist. They had 3 children together, Daryl, Rena, and James. Despite the constant threats and dangers they faced, the Evers family remained strong and committed to the cause. Myrlie Evers was not only his wife, but also his partner in activism. After Medgar's assassination in 1963, she continued his work, becoming a prominent figure in the civil rights movement. She later became the chairwoman of the NAACP, carrying on his legacy of fighting for justice and equality. Their children grew up in the midst of a turbulent era, witnessing both their father's courage and the hardships that came with it. Medgar's legacy continued to shape their lives, with Rena Evers Everett, for example, becoming active in preserving civil rights history. After Medgar Evers' assassination, Myrlie Evers took on the responsibility of continuing his legacy. She became a powerful voice in the civil rights movement, working tirelessly to ensure that her husband's sacrifices were not in vain. Over the years, she wrote books, gave speeches, and fought for justice. In 1995, she made history by becoming the first woman to chair the NAACP, further cementing her impact on the movement. Their children also carried on their father's legacy in different ways. Rena Evers Everett became an activist and educator, focusing on preserving civil rights history and ensuring that future generations understood the struggles and triumphs of the movement. She has worked with organizations to honor her father's work and keep his memory alive. The Evers family story is a testament to resilience. Instead of being silenced by tragedy, they turned their grief into action, making sure that Medgar's fight for equality continued. His legacy lives on not just through them, but also through scholarships, memorials, and institutions named in his honor.
Before leaving the channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe bell and hit the like bell. It helps the channel grow. Thank you.